Woo, man. Woo, 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 woo.
Bum bum bum. Senor Voyager,
Senor Jedi.
welcome. What are we doing here, Senor?
We are here to introduce to something that very naturally happened thanks to the South by Southeast podcast. Shout out to Mike, Krista, Matt.
Shout out.
So from that connection we had, as you know, our connection has been on a different level. And right away, as soon as we collaborated together with South by Southeast, one of the drops was dropping gems, and that one's a very as a group, we decided about that design. We decided on, like, everybody put their input. Krista is the one that finished the piece by suggesting doing it in a blue tie-dye, so it was like Goofy was in the clouds. And I was like, yes, let's do that. So from that drop, we also, if you remember, we did the pin. And I have a pin line that I have is called "Don't Trip, Keep Floating." And each pin, there's been three pins that I came out with. Each pin is a symbolism of flight, of some kind of flying device, be it a cloud, the plane, or like the third one, the UFO. So they'll have a message of "Don't trip, keep floating." And of course, Goofy is included in it, which is one of my favorite Disney characters. And so the pin was a UFO. And when I was trying to create this whole collaboration, I always loved that we talked about UFOs, the aliens, and that was like my right away. I'm like, all right, cool. Now we're talking about something I fuck with, you know. And then, like, so the connection just happened very naturally between us, and from there, uh, the UFO came out, and when I talked about how it happened, was that is because me and Jedi always talked about aliens. So I love that concept of making the third one of the "Don't Trip, Keep Floating" as a UFO, so we could connect. The podcast still connects to my brand, so it's a good collaboration. And the piece was inspired by Senor Jedi. And then from there, very naturally we clicked. We've done events. We've done events together. We actually started a whole clothing brand. Por el dolor. Por el dolor.
What does that statement mean to you?
Man, this is not a. I always tell people, like, cause my the clothing drops that we do, they're on another level of connection than just the clothing. You know, we have a lot of meaning behind our por el dolor. To me, por el dolor is just pain, life. To be honest, life. Por el dolor is life. That's why. That's why, like, that drop we did with Vicente Fernandez. Like, Vicente Fernandez meant pain, but it meant life. When you listen to him and his songs, it's just like it connects on another level, you know? So the funny thing about Vicente Fernandez is that back our parents' generation, alcohol was their main drug,
Mm.
their main balance to their life. That's the only thing they were allowed to pretty much do. So the only way they balanced life was through alcohol, which connects to Vicente Fernandez. Because when you're in that kind of world of Vicente Fernandez where his songs turn very like Por el Dolor, Por tu maldito amor. Like those songs, like they stick because there's some truth behind it.
Mm.
And that people listen to that, and sometimes that's why they end up crying when they get too drunk,
Mm.
and that certain song just hits them.
Mm.
So alcohol is connected to like Vicente Fernandez,
Mm.
but so it represents Por el Dolor, but in our own way, it's por the same dolor, but now we smoke.
What do you think the difference is between using alcohol in that same situation versus smoking the angelic lettuce? Or however you partake with the angelic lettuce.
Um,
Because you said you dropped something where you said usually the older generations
yeah.
they turn to alcohol.
Hmm.
And now, from my perspective, we're seeing a lot of maybe not less of that, but I know a lot more people that prefer or rather smoke and not drink at all. So I think that dynamic might be shifting. So what do you think? Why?
It's just, um, I think there's too much. Like during these times, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world where everybody is going like they're talking about their pain. The older generation talking about their pains more. Uh, our generation talks about pain. Our children talk about pain. It reflects in the music and everything. But because now we're living in a world where a lot of stuff is allowed now. So, like I said, like since there's a lot going on in the world, people are gonna start questioning shit like religion. People are gonna start questioning stuff like just their life. And then, so now that it's more open to do marijuana, I think they're starting to change their thoughts about it because it was a stigma, because it was illegal, and a lot of people like find it hard, like to even think about it as a good thing at all, even if there's
As a medicine.
as a medicine, as something to help them, because the stigma is so induced in them that they're like stubborn. It's always, I think we're losing a lot of stubbornness because of all this information from now. We're learning new ways of doing things and getting past things. And marijuana is becoming more common to people because they're seeing more of a, oh, this is not what they told me it was. Oh, this is not bad. And especially because there's so many forms of it too.
Mm.
Edible, smoke, drops,
Vape.
vape,
Dabs.
dabs,
Moon rocks.
moon rocks.
Moon rocks.
I'm off to the adventure.
Space muffins.
Ooh, senso beans.
Oh,
You got to bring those back, by the way.
I'm working on it.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. I'm working on it. I do. I definitely do. I learned there is a medicinal side to it,
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, for the longest time, that was kind of hidden behind, it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's the devil's lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a lazy bum if you smoke, You're going to smoke your ambition and your heart. Some of the most hardworking, talented, and badass individuals smoke that I know,
Yeah.
that hold down jobs,
A lot of them.
families, everything.
Yes.
Like, wait a minute, So me and my learning experience, Um, don't always believe what we're told, the main objective, because, if you actually dive into it, it's been in our cultures and many other indigenous cultures as a medicine for hundreds, maybe, I don't know, fucking thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So if that one plant can help so many people in so many different ways, well, why aren't we exploring it? Wait a minute, that's something. If we're really trying to
Right.
help people, then why not look at every single avenue available? Why not look at a plant that is can come there? You can grow it almost anywhere, that helps the environment as well,
Mm-hmm.
that helps the individual on multiple levels. Why not? If there's no, from what we know right now, no side effects
Mm-mm.
of using this plant,
Mm-mm.
why
Cause
not
you,
explore that avenue?
cause you,
It's the money.
you have so many people and a lot of people think also envision that only younger people or young adults are regularly doing this, but no, you meet old people that do this too. You meet like those old people that like will straight up tell you like, yeah, I love it, man. This is the only way I could go to sleep. Because a lot of these people, a lot of these older people, like body's hurting, man. That body is hurting, and smoking weed just makes it a little bit better for them, so they can enjoy, or not even get in a point where almost like they're not feeling it, And then so that effect is it's everywhere. Like younger people, I think young when it gets to the young people smoking it, I think it's where it gets a little shaky, a little dainted, or I don't know how to call it, tainted, because especially when we grew up, it was still is a bad thing, an evil thing. So the people that smoked weed during those times were more than likely the fucking dudes that are up to no good.
Mm,
Like growing up
yeah.
where we grew up and shit. So there was a stigma to that too, Like, uh, but when you're young and you're doing it and you start hearing people that they doing themselves, it's usually those kids, the ones that are up to no good, and like, then you start seeing connecting yourself to that too, as the image of weed.
Mm,
And a lot of times people end up smoking weed just to even look cool or
mm.
just a certain like they're not using it medically
They're abusing it, or
in a way
they're doing it for
because
the image.
so well, some might do it for the image, others might just like not even like it and they just keep doing it just because everybody else is doing it.
Hmm. When you first dropped the first chronic design, the sage, what color
Yeah.
would you describe it? Sage green, OD green, something
Yeah,
green,
sage green,
forest green,
forest green. Yeah.
green.
Just imagine
Uh,
you're in the fucking forest with trees and that green.
the words chronic when you put on there, my first response, I told you, I'm like, shit. I think I'm not in the clothing line. I had a few shirts for the gym, but I was never in like, the clothing line like that. That's your field.
Yeah.
So me coming into your field, the first thing I saw as a regular, as a consumer, big letters, chronic. And instantly that's a negative. I saw a negative to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to me was a part of the indoctrination where you see that. And I'm like, and that was just me thinking, would people wear that? Would they boldly wear something that says chronic on it?
Mm.
So that was
Yeah.
my hesitation, because you're actively
Putting
saying,
yourself out
yeah, you're
there.
putting yourself out there for potential ridicule or judgment. And until we dropped Por el Dolor right underneath it. And to me, I'm like, okay, now it kind of changes it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're using that, but it's not for the image. It's not No, you're using it for your own personal outlet, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I said, okay, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
man.
So yeah, that's I wanted
It's
to.
the outlet because the pains comes in so many different ways. The pains, por el dolor, everybody connects to it somehow.
That's a smooth transition. So, what what is one of your goals or your objectives for this podcast?
uh, for me, it's just I love being a student to people's lives, man. To be honest, I like being a student and learn from what they speak of. I just want to intake whatever information, any education, however you want to put it, but just intake all this information and kind of one get to know the person even better as a person. And a lot of people don't think it's like that, but once you do the podcast, they come in and we usually talk, and everybody gets the vibe, and right away they feel very natural talking to us with microphones, because essentially it feels like it's a conversation between friends. You know what I'm saying?
And it is.
And that's exactly what it is. And it's like since we said from the beginning, like, because me and Jedi are always around and doing these, going to people's events, going to the studio, uh, going to the movie drops, all this. So we're always doing our thing. So the people are connected to that.
Hmm. Brought to you by marijuana chronic. Well, you said it before. It's you like you found people's outlets you're interested in. I'm gonna give you a brief rundown. I'm gonna stretch first. I'm gonna verbally stretch. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna paint you a picture. We're gonna go down a little rabbit hole right now.
Ooh, Bob Ross.
Yeah, I'm gonna Bob Ross your ass. Puff. Look at that nice little trees right there.
Oh shit.
When you came aboard, your name is Voyager, and I
Mhm.
said, "Ooh, I like that." I resonated with that shit because me myself, why I like the alien thing, in my personal life, I've always felt like not an alien per se, like I'm alone and isolated. I feel like a Voyager. Like this is my movie. This is I'm going through my life, and I want to experience as much as I can experience. I feel like I'm on a unique path. I grew up in a certain area with a certain family, with a certain, and I'm meeting new people. I'm meeting people. Oh. There's more to life than just what I was exposed to.
Yeah.
And that brings me joy. And when I find someone's passion that's similar to mine, for some reason it attracts me. Oh, I want to learn. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know. Why are you interested in that? And for me, I feel more like a journalist.
Mm.
I feel I'm on my own, like a Ronin, like Matt. He's on his own unique journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you encounter individuals, you encounter people, you encounter everyone on their own voyage. And if we share that, we learn. And when I sit down, I sit with you or anybody else, and I ask a few questions. It's for my personal.
That's why I feel like an alien. That's why I like that alien. We're voyagers going to different people's planets. Because everybody individually is their own world,
Mm.
essentially. They're their own little world.
Mm.
Their world's not the same as your world.
Mm-mm.
So to me, it's like a voyage to people's different worlds, and what makes think like that. What makes you, oh, why are you like this? Like I love when people tell me like stuff like it's like when you're like kind of like in a campfire or something, and everybody's just telling stories and shit.
Hmm.
It's very warming to me,
Hmm.
almost like on some uh like on some therapy shit, you know.
Hmm.
Like it makes me like it's cool, man. That's why like I connect to people like a
Yeah.
lot of times because he starts telling stories, and a lot of times I take these opportunities and I tell stories back, you know. And it's very interesting to learn.
I like we're talking in the future, but in the future episode we speak to one of my buddies and he describes growing up in South Chicago.
Hmm.
And he said all around was negativity and it was kind of hard to find a positive light. And there was a few businesses, a few people, there was a hip hop culture, there was a art culture that kind of kept the very few on a positive path. That's where my alien comes in because
Mm,
there's very, very few that chose a positive path in a fucking kakapupu environment, you know?
yeah.
But as we're learning that kakapupu environment, because of Steve and everything, well, now we're realizing why.
Oh my god.
Why? Why is it like that? Why is it so fucking kakapupu?
And you get to understand why.
Yes, and you see it. Well, I see it. I lived it, and oh, it smacks you on the face.
Mm,
Oh, 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 interesting. So when I meet people like you, that's
mm-hmm.
usually very positive, and I meet people
Yeah.
that are on a positive path that work on their craft with a stupid amount of effort and discipline. I need to be around those people. That excites me.
Yeah.
Those are my friends. That's my tribe. That ooh, that's where I
Yes.
that's where the juju is. That's where all the good energy is. That's where I'm going to learn and that's where I need to be because
The
I've
tribe.
we've seen the negative where you grew up, where I grew up, where a lot of people listening, I'm pretty sure,
Mm-hmm.
find those positives.
Mm-hmm.
Find them. They're out there. They are out there.
They are out there.
And they could be on some therapeutic shit. They can be on some creative shit. They
Mm-hmm.
can be on some making some very unique music,
Mm-hmm.
art in many shapes and forms. It can be whatever you do. You can be a barber. You
Mm-hmm.
can cut grass. You can whatever your passion is, whatever um, an outlet is for you. What that works for you,
Mm-hmm.
stick with it.
Yeah.
It's your vibe. Find that vibe. So going through life, sticking with my vibe, going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, 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 nope. Yes, you're a
Mm-hmm.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
Similar vibe. Nope, 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 nope. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So I think for me, because of Mike and Krista, because of our vibe, we now have an opportunity to dive deep for me into certain individuals that I like what you're doing. I like the work.
Mm-hmm.
I like the work ethic. If I can sit down and chop it up with your brain for a little while,
Yes.
we can help not only myself, not only you, but them sitting down and then whoever's listening, you never know.
To you listeners, this is for you. You're welcome. Yeah, but this is so many, man. It's amazing, man. It's amazing the people we have around us, the people that reach out, the people that connect to you. And like you said, it's just like you travel through life, you're voyaging, and nope, nope, nope. Like you said, you go through life and you start meeting certain places, certain spots, or just ways of yourself to not be with. and then you start connecting with other people that think similar to you and very open, not criticizing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, oh, okay. I like to be around that. So and then you start forming your circles and shit. But I feel like a lot of people that I want to talk to that are around me is just that they're also interesting. These are just people that I know that we know.
Hmm.
And then the funny thing is like most of the time too, like as soon as somebody knows about it, now more people are open to also be more open about it.
Hmm.
And we start talking more amongst each other. Like when you start talking, you find out things about other people that you didn't never knew,
Hmm.
and then you start understanding them as a person. You understand them more in a personal level. Like, okay, I get where you come from.
Hmm.
You know, and all reflects back to Por Dolor and everything, man. Like it all connects because it's life, man.
Hmm.
The hustles that people have to do, the the the, the amount of work they have to put into a craft. It's throughout that process. It always comes with pain at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and we're acknowledging it. You know, and that's something that I love that our brand represents. So that's why when we're talking about the Pura Dolor on the crew neck, like that, and the chronic, like that could be in so many different forms. Like I told him, like Pura Dolor, it's for the pain, but now we're specifically saying that between us, like the angelic lettuce has helped a lot, and it helps with the pain, and we're connecting that via the words chronic too, because chronic plays in different ways too.
Chronic pain.
Chronic is it's a medical term for pain, and then on top of that, chronic during our time was also weed. So it all connected together. So even seeing the word chronic like that is so connected to negative. A lot of people still have that negative point of view, but when you see the Por el Dolor, it kind of like tickles your heart. You're like, oh shit, Por el Dolor.
Tickles your heart.
He knows. Yeah, they know.
They know.
They know.
Well, I believe that's why when we talk to individuals, I think they feel a little bit more comfortable
Yeah.
talking, opening up, sharing. Besides, footnote on the nature thing, but besides nature, what else do you do personally for the pain, senor? What do you do as outlets? What do you like to do, you personally?
A lot of times, just music. Uh, Trying to right now lately, to be honest, I'm trying to be like on my fucking cinematic shit. So I like connecting videos to music, like kind of like a express myself through that art. So that's why I always like putting songs with certain videos of in nature, or certain videos with the with the goofy floating in space. Like it's just that image is meant to be connected to the music, and it creates a whole story without even saying nothing but 15 seconds of a song with a video. But it's a connection. Yeah,
And
it's
an
an expression,
Mm.
and it connects to people, bro.
Mm.
And that's the best. Like to me, that's the creating those have been really therapeutic because I already listen to music a lot, but now I'm doing it in an art form too.
Mm.
And so a lot of times the videos, even if they're like a little dark, like sometimes with the Mac Miller lyrics, um, some of my videos connect to like you feel the video, you feel the image, it all connects together. So that's been very like therapeutic because I just get into a whole mindset of creating. And then and another thing is just like spending time with my kids, man. That shit's therapeutic. Like probably the most therapeutic thing to me.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, when they say like, if it wasn't for the kids this, if it wasn't for the kids that, like it's like a very literal thing. Like they've been therapeutic to me because at the end of the day, they put my mindset back together to like be like, man, you're raising these kids, you know. You gotta rethink everything. You gotta calm down. You gotta like everything, you know.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Outlets.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh shit! What were we talking about?
Positive.
Oh, the kids therapy. Yeah.
Positive outlets, kids.
Yeah, and then like it like so since they were babies, they put you in a very therapeutic mode because you're like, nope, you gotta be cool, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep it going, you got this. So in a form, you put yourself together because of them, the image of them, the image of you to them, you know. So, but then right now it's like more therapeutic too because essentially I'm a single dad and because of the me and the mom are not together, so they go with the mom.
Oh, wrong button. Damn. No, which one? There you go. We might have to scratch that one. No, we leave it.
Oh shit! But so it's like so I get to see him a certain days, and you know sometimes like going through life, sometimes like when you have your kids all the time to not having them all the time, like some days could like potentially be low for you because it's like damn, you don't have your kids there, you know, so you start thinking like you start thinking in a negative way and shit, and then so I switched that to like I get excited when I see the kids, you know. I'm always like trying to do something with them. Like a lot of times they don't like. The older they get, honestly, the less they want to do with you and shit or do things.
Yeah.
So I strongly try to like always take them outside. Go to the trail right here that we just walked right now, and play disc golf with them. Or recently we went to Shapeless art exhibit, and it was just like it's very therapeutic having them and feeling, you know, feeling really good. So they've been my number one por el dolor, like the symbolism for por el dolor, you know. Yeah, so definitely my kids.
Recently, I was surprised they actually got you to come out and run. How'd you feel? How'd you
I feel good, man.
No, how'd you feel during the run?
Oh,
like
man,
the
that
run,
shit-
everything, because we did a nice little warm up, cool down, everything.
Bro, it's just one of those moments where you forget how much like you forget, like essentially it's like almost um when somebody goes through like they can use like the major surgery or something, an accident, they haven't been like able to walk right, and then after a certain amount of months you break the cast and then you're relearning how to fucking learn how to walk.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that and shit. And then
The reason why running
oh man,
running is one of my not I just came into running as an outlet.
yeah.
Running has been very, very therapeutic and also a great teacher. And I used to shy away from running.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like we forget about like how much we could actually run or how much we could actually go for a walk for.
Yeah.
So when we start running, your body right away kind of like no, I think it's your mind. Your mind puts you like in a oh fuck we're running, and you feel fucking like like, man, I don't know how to fuck it. Like, you haven't ran in a long time and shit, so your body's kind of panicking, like in a panic mode, so your heart rate's going up. That makes you more tired and all. Like, your mind just fucks the whole system up. So, especially because we were doing it too in nature.
Yeah.
Because it was like a lot of nature there, bro, and it was beautiful. So to me, almost like having nature there is like more of a relax, dude. You're good compared to like if I was doing it in a gym or we went to a
treadmill,
like, actual trail. Like like
staring at a wall.
yeah, bro.
You're gonna run 2 miles.
So
now.
you and in the pressure of the people around you,
Oh,
like that kind of shit. Like, but there in the when you're doing it in a fucking nature, like it feels good, bro. And then. So we were doing the run, and man, I was tired as fuck though. I was like, but like I said, I kept going, bro. And then you're like, let's go in your pace, bro. We'll go in your pace. If you feel like running, we'll run. If not, we'll jog. If not, we'll walk. Whatever you feel. So we pretty much jogged and ran ran a lot, and then jogged and ran a lot of it. The rest of it, you know. And it was then you get that feeling back when you're like. When you get a good workout, when you get a good, like when I played soccer, when you got a good game, you're like, oh fuck yeah, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel good about it, and then you start saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it again, and then it doesn't happen. That's the tricky part.
I get you.
But it did feel good, man. It did feel real good.
Fitness has always been okay. We're gonna go back to the Bob Ross painting, round 2. I fell into fitness at a very young age, and that's one thing I felt hard for. I felt super hard for that shit. So I tried to learn everything and anything I could learn about fitness. I had to dissect this book, that book, this. I was engulfed in it. For some reason, it resonated with me deep. And I believe, from my experience in all my years, it's one of the best outlets anyone can use. Anyone should and could utilize on a daily basis. I believe that can help. Not even if someone's going through a bad time. Starting a day with whatever physical fitness outlet you choose, simple, easy, fast, hard, in my experience, it starts the day off right. Or it finishes the day off right. Or it's that middle juice that you need to go through the day. Whatever. Or it's that creative walk that someone has when they're blocked. I'm going to go take a walk real quick. And then poof, something happens.
Yeah.
And walking is fitness. Everyone should be walking at any age. It's not only physical fitness, it's a mental fitness. And during my whole fitness career, I tried as best as possible to communicate and share my love and passion for fitness. Didn't always go good. I'm learning. I'm human. I'm trying to work on my communication skills and how do I clearly, in my head, what pops up, how do I put that into words? Because sometimes, bloop, it comes out and boop, caca.
Yeah.
So I want to be able, whatever comes up here, how do I successfully put it? Also, meeting the individual at their level, because fitness, for whatever reason, it has a large negative tie to it. I'm running. I'm this. It's punishment.
Right.
A lot of people think it's punishment. I have to eat better. I force myself. I have to force myself to eat 1 carrot a day and this, or no. Wait a minute. You're already starting off with a negative. Start off at your own, like we did. Start off at your own pace. Make it fun. Make it interesting. You don't have to do what you see on TV or see on Instagram. There's many, 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 many facets of fitness. It could be lifting weights. It could be running. It could be walking. It could be kayaking. There's so many outlets that I truly, truly love. And I secretly, everyone we interview, I'm going to try to plant that seed. Throw fitness into your arsenal for pain because I love it. And if I can have more friends that work out, I'm gonna be one happy boy. If I have more friends that I can share my passion with, because when people get together, and that's why CrossFit was so popular, the group environment of struggling together, you build those bonds. You build the bonds while your brain on some chemical science shit. It's releasing the dopamine. It's releasing the neuroepinephrine. Spell it. These chemicals. No, it's all science. You can Google this shit. No, when you go through exercise, you feel better when you're done, and that's what those antidepressant pills do on a chemical level. You just did that for free working out with your homie or doing a CrossFit class or doing a Zumba class or whatever. You just gave yourself a boost of positive pick-me-ups and energy for free. And if you constantly do that to the body's going to repay you so much. It's going to repair. It's going to prepare you for anything and everything. It's going to help you. It's going to stay young. It's going to keep you healthy. If I can share that with others and then me conversating with them, I can learn something about my field or just me in general, I'm all for this. This is I like where we're going with this. I fuck it. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
I remember this is a reference to Mike's when I explained what Voyager 73 was, and he was like,
Oh, yeah.
"We're digging in there, man."
We're digging in. Besides the fitness, I like the communication. I think that's been an outlet for me. Not just me speaking, just speaking with people on having a real conversation. Mike's off, Mike's on, whatever. Still having a genuine conversation, listening to people. Actually, like genuinely listening to someone and your friends. Listening to them has opened up a lot in my mind. And what we're doing now, essentially, we're having a conversation, but I'm listening, I'm learning, you know. And I think one of the outlets that I've really kind of fell into is just communication, talking, listening, absorbing, learning, you know, being that fly on the wall, like we said. Do you have any goals for what we're doing here?
Oh man, definitely. I just wanted to like this whole thing to connect to people on a personal level. Like it's not. I don't want to just think it's a brand for a shirt. I wanted to think it's deeper than that. It's and we're showing it in different forms, like life. But the Lord is life. So I think that's what we need to show.
Along with the fitness and along with the nature. Oh yeah, why did you fall into nature? Why nature out of everything? Why do you think that nature just vibed with you?
Because I think people forget how strong nature is in their lives. How much positive is brought to people. How much positive is brought them throughout years, and then people don't really connect to it. Like to me, the reference back to nature was family stuff. Like when we used to go to the parks at Marquette Park. We used to go there early so we could find a good spot by a tree that has shade. And it was just like, that was like good times, man. Our cousins all together, we're all playing. The uncles and aunts are all cooking, having a good time. We had volleyball tournaments, or going to the beach over here in Calumet. Like that was our beach, bro. And like, so again, come in early and reserve your spot. play volleyball, go to the beach, learning how to swim right there, bro. Like I learned how to swim there, bro. Like it's these connections to at the end of the day, it's Earth that we're enjoying. So those connections go back like to you as a childhood, but as the older we grow, the less we get in contact with Earth like that. And that's why these walks you do on nature like are so therapeutic. Like because again, it's Earth. It is therapeutic, and we just gotta relearn that, reconnect with Earth, because like I said, it's like right now we went by the end of the alley where I live at, and there's a nice it's connected to the lake, a wolf lake, and it's a pond, and you see a bunch of trees, and then you saw the moon, and it was getting dark now because the sunset's going, and it's just like, damn, that's just a whole, like it literally makes you that pause and experience, and you're like, fuck, this is nice. Like just seeing that sight is so nice, and it already brings positive to you. It already makes you feel good, and then, and like I said, like you saw the BP gas station stuff, the fires and all that, and you saw the lights from the streets and the lights and the highways, and I told him like just take away that little part right there. And like Bob Ross, he's like, all right, we're gonna put a little happy tree here, and like forget all that. Just look at the trees.
Forget the pollution.
Look at the pretty little trees. Look at the water. Look at the clouds. Just like just look at it, and it makes you realize.
Well, if you think about it, about 100 years ago, fucking humans were living in a whole different type of scenario. They were living more in the environment.
Right.
And you go back, the deeper we go into history, the more and more humans were connected to nature.
Yeah.
And then from my perspective, when you start straying away from nature, that's when shit happens. Or that's, you get the disconnect there. You start, you lose a lot.
Yeah.
One of the goals that I would love to do is to connect to, oh yeah, let me pull this up. To learn, to teach, to love, to heal. Oh, drop just like that. One, I love learning. If I can share any drop of knowledge or information that I have that can help anyone, I'm all in. Fuck yeah. Because you grew up, we grew up, you grew up that are listening in certain conditions, and sometimes a positive light or positive outlet can be something rare. That can be something that someone attaches to, and they might not never let go. That might be that lifeline they need. Mm-hmm. So if we can help doing that, also, it benefits us because as voyagers, we're still on our path. Mm-hmm. You like learning, I like learning. I really like learning, and in my craft, I want to be good at what I do. Whatever I do, I want to be good at it. If I like something, I that's just me. I want that's if my name's attached to it. If it's my fitness thing or anything, I want it to be a solid, good, unique product. Unique because that's me. Because that's my work. That's my everything. And I think there's individuals out there that share the same thing, but instead of fitness, it might be computers, it might be whatever. We chop it up with them. We bridge the gap. Mm-hmm. We made friends. We learn. Not only do we learn, but we help the individual across from us with their platform, with whatever they're trying to do. Because now our friends are their friends, and our friends are on the same vibe, and their tribe just grew, you know. And it's all, oh shit, now we have a community.
To me, it's like I was just picturing like we were all connected because of in a form, like I feel like all the people that were around we could have alien conversations with. To be
Alien?
honest,
Alien conversations?
yeah, just bring up that topic. Like that topic could be brought out, and I was like, yeah. So a lot of these, I see a lot of, like I said, aliens.
On the contrary, my friend, there's a lot of people that I don't know. There's very, very few. I'll change it. There's very, very few that I can have a deep conversation about aliens about. A genuine, intellectual, not like bullshit. Oh shit, green men. No, legit, an intelligent conversation about space, time, and I know
Galaxies
we
and
say
shit.
aliens and that's kind of
Yeah.
goofy and shit, and then we have Alan the alien, like but other life, and other life can be anything. It can be
Yeah.
a star, it can be a dot, it can be a super intelligent, planet. It can whatever. It can be endless. It could be shit we can't even think of because our brains can't even think of shit that complex.
So we call it alien.
So we
'Cause it's
call
unknown.
it, yeah, because it's unknown, But now, like stigma on this and that and this,
Yeah.
it gets painted in a wrong tone or hue, whatever verbology you have. So there's very few people I can actually have, but the conversation's getting more and more open.
Mm-hmm.
The stigma on that is kind of closing down. So for me, as a longtime fan, again, this is one of the things I dove into because for whatever reason, it piques my interest. Now it's more open. So now, yeah, I think we can have more alien conversations.
Oh, definitely. I feel like, and like all these people that are like I know or around me. Like I feel like, I mean, not recording or anything. Just like if I was just chilling with them in a campfire smoking a blunt, I could imagine
I get you.
telling all these people like, how do you feel about aliens? Looking at the stars
I get
outside.
you. You feel comfortable with
I feel comfortable
I
talking
get you.
about aliens around
I
them
get
and
you.
shit.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
I was thinking about like direct chupacabra conversations.
No. Like genuinely, like these people, I feel like I could just
Oh,
bring that
okay.
up. Like,
Yeah, I get you.
I feel like, to me, it's like a whole scenery in my head. Like an intimate, smoking a blunt, just having a cool conversation and shit. And just because you're me as a person, I like about the alien stuff.
Yeah.
I just, hey, how do you feel about aliens? You might say, shut the fuck up.
I'll give you an example how my brain works. So recently, it was kind of confirmed, but recently, once the military switched over, they use now the advanced FLIR, but before their tracking system. So once they upgraded their shit, that's when they said every day they would see unidentified objects. So how my mind works is, oh shit. Once they upgraded and they had better viewing capabilities and scanning capabilities, they can now see these, whatever they are, in the atmosphere, going in the water, outside, around military craft,
Right.
around nuclear bases. Wait, whoa. How long have they been there? Now that we can see them.
Or now that you're even talking about
Nah,
it, how long have you been knowing? Now you're accepting it to put it out there and shit.
So that's one of the things. Like, oh, wait a minute. How long have they been here? How long?
That's crazy.
What are they doing? Are they watching us? Are they spying? Or they don't even give a fuck. We might be like ants to them.
They just passed by.
Yeah, we might. I mean, when you walk past the sidewalk and you see an ant, you really don't. When do you actually stop and stare at it? Maybe once in a while.
Damn, man.
So they might just be, I just need some water. Oh, look at these fucking fools. They're about to blow themselves up. And we're out of here. We're gonna go live in utopia somewhere. We could have helped them, but nah, they're fighting. You never. That's how.
Ant life.
We might be ants to
That was a
someone
good
else.
movie, yeah.
We might be less than ants to another intelligent civilization that's been on whatever planet or whatever galaxy for 1,000,000 years. That's the button right there.
The funny thing is that right now I was connecting it in my fucking head. Like right now I'm like connecting that like marijuana and like aliens have gone hand on hand on how people are more open to accept it. Like back in the days,
Alien marijuana? What'd you say?
no, like marijuana
Yeah.
as acceptance around people.
Yeah.
It's almost the same as the UFOs being accepted more.
Like
That's-
stigma.
That stigma,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
how the government used to run things, bro, just to show you how the power
Used
of how it
to.
used to be
Used to.
before we know now.
Used to.
I seen it,
They still do.
but yeah, bro. So it's like
On many different levels.
so it's on many different levels, and then so at the same time they're being more accepted. That's what I'm saying. Like they're in the kind of same level shit. Like
That's my other question. Now, all of a sudden, why is it okay to talk about it? Why do you have certain government officials openly speaking? Again, it sparks my mind. Are they okaying this now? And if they are okaying this, then they control the narrative. They control what direction this whole conversation goes because they are the media. They control, besides the alternative underground or, the main majority of the media now used to make fun of this topic. Not no more. You have scientists, you have Air Force pilots, you have naval officers, you have all this. They're opening the doors. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why? Why do you guys have the keys, Why are you is this a what's the word?
man,
Not a false flag.
red flags.
Nah. I'll think of it tomorrow and I'll text you. Yeah. But they're controlling why the people should really control the release everything you have, you know.
I think it's just power to me. It's just power. Just
Well-
knowing shit is just thinking you have power over people and shit. Like
Well,
they
if
want to
you-
keep that.
If you scare people enough, the aliens are coming, then you can control people. You
And
can kind of guide them.
That's how it
you know?
was.
To me, it might be the direction we're going in. But I don't want to get met with people in Men in Black and suits and shit. So I'm just kidding.
Allegedly.
Again, there's very few people I can talk deep about aliens because there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much.
So much
If
you get into, man.
there's a book I'm gonna tell you. Dr. Rick Strassman, he did studies on psychedelics and other. In the scientific studies, they would give people certain psychedelic drugs, and a lot of them were experiencing the same thing. They were communicating with the same entities. I don't want to say aliens. They're people, green, gray. No. Other whatever. And at first they're like, "You guys are tripping." But once multiple people in different scenarios and started experiencing the same thing, the doctor's like, "Oh shit, there's something going on here. There's something going on when they're tapping into another intelligence, another universe,
They're
dimension."
gonna rebel against the government and then
Well, I
banned
don't
it.
know. Why? No, the government's funding it. They're funding the studies now. Well, no, in the
now.
'90s, it was a government funded thing, but once it got to the book's crazy. Read it. You should read it. They stopped it.
Once it got to what the
At
federal part.
No. It was a federally funded. It's all scientific. It's all at the dude. I think he was from Harvard somewhere. So it's all legit, legal. But once they started diving into the realm of entities and stuff, they pulled the plug on it, I believe,
Ooh.
because they were doing psychedelic research. But what they stumbled across is multiple people, random people, started experiencing the same thing, different intelligences, different messages, and the scientists are like, wait a minute, what did we make contact? Did we? What are we dealing with? And they believe they pulled the plug. So that's another form. Again, what interests me, it's another form of an intelligence.
Definitely. Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull up that book right now.
It definitely is a like it's like what they say your brain's a certain, like you can only see a certain amount used, but what if you use more of it? Like I think that certain psychedelic event, what happens is it kind of opens up something in your brain that you're allowed to do, and that's the thing about the brain. When the brain is, that's why a lot of people I think see ghosts, because they give it that energy. So they kind of in their heads, in their eyes, they literally say that they see shit, you know. So it's a little tricky like that.
Well, we said we believe in energy, we believe
Yeah.
in vibes,
Mm-hmm.
but we are human and we have human brains. And from my perspective, we have limitations.
Yeah.
We can push our brain, we can learn, but like a computer, eventually you're going to reach a cap. There's only so much. But there might be other shit out there that we can't really understand. There might be magic to us.
We're not
That
even
that like the Mayans, if a spaceship came down, oh, they're gods. They're
Yeah.
gods.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know?
Yeah.
What the fuck? They might have. So Rick Strassman, Dr. Rick Strassman, his book is called DMT, the Spirit Molecule.
Oh, DMT.
And so he dropped this in 2000? Yeah, in 2000. So this is, I think he did his studies in the early 1990s and then released a book exactly in the year 2000.
When
Dr. Rick Strassman is an American clinical associate professor of psychiatry at the University of New Mexico School of Medicine. He held a fellowship in clinical psychopharmacology research at the University of California, San Diego, and was professor of psychiatry for 11 years at the University of New Mexico. He wrote a book on drugs and aliens.
ooh,
That's the book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule. That's the one
drugs.
and aliens. That's the book where he ties in. He did legit research. Legit, not bullshit, not someone on the corner. Oh, I fucking saw aliens eating mushrooms, man. No, in a clinical environment, in a scientific.
They had big eyes, man.
in an exact environment,
Yeah.
he tapped into something that he believed was an intelligence, which is wild to me. That blows my mind. Why isn't that all over the news? Why isn't that? Why are we not exploring that more? You know, wait a minute. But again, that goes with energy and vibes, frequencies, dimensions. And in a weird way, all that might be kind of tied in. Certain people, I believe, they have force abilities that can pierce the veil. I like that word, pierce the veil, that they can see energy or auras or spirits or ghosts. They have something, they have an extra radio station where they can tune in. Some, from what we're learning, some people can control it, some people can't, but some people have an ability or a latent ability in certain situations will bring out a form of intuition or psychic ability. Jedi. Hence, I like Jedi because not only am I one, I believe everyone in their own right can be an amazing, powerful force, a self-healing, self-independent machine, you know, that can self-heal, you don't need drugs and this and that. No. Find what works for you. Something that'll work. It will work for you. And with the frequency and vibes, from a very young age, I read that for whatever reason, not super good, but I can pick up on certain people's vibes and energies and rough. My little filter, I like my filter.
Mm.
It picks up on, But now that we talk to someone, someone doesn't have a filter, and all that shit's busted open, and they can read, they can see, they can feel, they can
Yeah.
communicate past normal human faculties and capabilities. Like, wait a minute, wait? Why aren't we looking into that more? All that stigma of that. I'm like, wait a minute, there's other information, there's other.
It's crazy because it's all like connected to like essentially your mind, your everything, man. And that's why I said like maybe for some reason something in their brain just was formed a certain way and it tuned it. It's weird because it's just like a dog. A dog could fucking read certain energies. It knows dark.
They say cats can fucking see spirits and ghosts and shit, right? They have that whatever.
The cats do certain ways. Uh, so like so they're in tune in something that we're not in tune in.
Oh yeah.
Birds are in tune with something else. If you can hear my bird in the background. Bugs are connected to a certain frequency. The ones, what are those bees that were connected to certain something? Remember, there was a transmission where it was a certain frequency that was killing bees or something like that.
Mm-mm.
I forgot what it was. It was something with certain bees or certain
Yeah.
areas with bees are some mechanical human made thing was like messing with their fucking frequency, and they started fading off and shit. I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like there's different things in this universe that we can be connected to it, like, and there's certain things that allow us to open and at least see it. And like I said, the crazy thing is like that's why in my kind of like a symbolism thing, the brain is the universe. So essentially, when you take something like that psychedelic or a very strong psychedelic, you enter your brain's full vision, like full access to like give you everything. Like it can make you search through like life, which is crazy because people that had like from what I've heard and read for my ayahuasca trips, they seem to find themselves in there, or they seem to find some way of resetting themselves as human beings and forgetting all that stuff they carry. Like a lot of people like went through depression or like they're very bad or just they've had this pain. They've gone through the ayahuasca experience just for the purpose of getting themselves through that because it's so dramatic.
I have a current. This is my current scientific hypothesis
Ooh.
on psychedelics. Either they unlock something in our brains that's kind of, for whatever reason, locked or unaccessed, we're unable to access, unless we like meditate or some shit. Unlock something, and then that's when you have a full experience. It could be positive, negative, depending on time, day, setting, all that. Or it allows you to tune into that frequency. It gives you that extra filter or channel that you can potentially. Your body will be here, but your mind, perhaps soul, whatever you want to call it, is having an adventure somewhere. You're reliving, you're experiencing, you're whatever, wherever you're being called to, whatever adventure, the mushrooms, whatever acid, whatever you're partaking in, they're we usually I like to stick with the all natural plants. I'm a fan of all natural everything. So the mushrooms, I'm not too familiar. I know of the ayahuasca because it's now becoming super popular everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. But like the mushrooms, all natural, the scientific, like derived in a thing, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. But it came from the earth, you know?
Yeah.
So what is that mushroom or whatever psychedelic that comes from the earth sending you on a journey for a reason, roughly? Usually. That's from what I'm reading. This is my scientific. It's you're pushing you in a direction so you can learn something.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn, grow, heal, adapt, get better. How is that possible? How a fungus from the ground or wherever can do that to the brain, can allow you to shoot to space, can allow you to unlock something in the brain. That boggles my mind.
Right. Because even with uh, what I've heard, not personally gone like I haven't gone through no bad trip before. So, but I've heard stories of people going to bad trips and they pretty much uh, formed as a lesson, kind of, because you get into this crazy panic mode and shit starts looking dark. Uh, the shit that you thought looked cool, the moving around now is like making you go crazy, and you feel like you can't breathe and shit like that. And it's just like just comes to show you how powerful the brain is, because essentially to psychedelics to me it just it visually gives you what's how you're in the state of mind that you are. So if you're in a bad state of mind, that's why they always tell you don't take it when you're in a bad place, or because if you have those thoughts in your head, it takes you to that world visually. So that world again, psychedelics like opens up everything in your body, like your senses and everything. So something dark, like physically, like it would feel like you're physically is hurting you,
Hmm.
but something that if you're in a positive mind, that same movement or the same movement, like that same thought, you look at it in a positive way. So let's say you feel like you're starting to having a panic attack and you're starting like breathing, and then if you're in a bad a mindset, you're gonna focus on the breathing, like, oh my god, I'm breathing hard, I'm breathing hard, I'm breathing hard in a bad way. But if you think it in a positive way, if you're really tripping, you might see like, and you start seeing like every time you breathe, you see a wave, and you're
Hmm.
like in your mind, you're like, oh my god, that looks cool.
Hmm.
So you're in some way, because you're in a good mindset already. Your visuals are good. So even if you're having that heartbeat or breathing, it's in a positive way because you're in a positive mindset. So you're enjoying it. It gives you visuals connected to it. So that's what, like I said, I had that painting that my friend did the first time I did it, and then like even right now to this time, like right now, I could still kind of like it, like not really see it, but in my head I could see it how I seen it, and it's like essentially it's a bunch of colors like watercolor, and it's like light and dark, and they were like literal waves of water, like in the ocean, and these different colors, and then the lines. There's a bunch of line work, and the line work was moving in place, and it was getting thick and thin, and it was just like visually one of the most amazing things I've seen. Understandable, like you can't comprehend, but you can during that moment. It
Hmm.
makes sense. And then so you start to me like you start thinking of life more like uh you you took a oh man, how do you say it? You get to concentrate on this how simple life is. To me, that's how like to me that's how
Hmm.
what it does. Like it makes me appreciate like even a painting. Like right now, I've probably had this painting over, and I've never sat down and really looked at it, or just kind of like reminiscent and just admire the colors and admire the lines. You know, I cannot enjoy that because my life is so. Your brain is going 100 miles per hour and shit, so you can't enjoy that moment. But when you're in that moment in psychedelics, it visually gives you an amazing display, and it's just like you get to enjoy it and like be fascinated by it. Almost like it goes back to like that pause and experience thing. Like with nature, like we've we don't accept it so much how much it is because of the way we grew up, but like it does so much therapy to people and shit, you know. And then it takes you a moment to like, it's almost every day Earth gives you fucking a Bob Ross painting in the morning. Then when the sun is going up, the colors we were talking about. When the sundown's going down, the colors, the feeling, it starts getting a little colder, more chill. Like we don't intake that too much, man. But it's always been there, but we don't get to enjoy that moment and really think about it. Like, oh my god, it's amazing, you know. It makes you take like it simplifies life for you pretty much, and you see the bigger picture of things.
As a young boy, I saw drugs around me, and I kind of made my mind up like, nah. I seen the negatives of it. With the angelic lettuce, no, I was introduced at a very young age, and that stuck with me. But I made a decision. I'm not going to do anything else because I seen either people abusing or the negative, the money, the robberies, it's drugs were it's a currency. People will rob you for this and that and this. So it's one thing I always kind of stood away from until I was late to the party in the psychedelic world. But again, when I find something that fascinates me, I dive deep. And what's going on right now in the world is it's opening up. There's more scientific studies on not only psilocybin mushrooms, but LSD and ecstasy, MDMA, and they're using that for soldiers and PTSD. They're not using it to fucking trip in a club with music and shit.
Right.
No, if you've went and saw through some horrible shit that you cannot get out of your brain, or you relive, or in certain circumstances brings you back to that moment where you can see and feel and smell your memory. If this substance that comes from a plant can help an individual cope in his brain and live a normal life, oh shit, we live in some wild fucking times. Because now that stigma's being, and now you're realizing for the longest what we said was bad and criminal, and no, helps people, helps the mind. Scientific studies showing many people either getting rid of of addictions, illnesses, whatever's bothering them physically and mentally. There's many more outlets out there, and it's being backed by science. And I'm a huge fan of science because that's what's real, you know. In fitness, there's a lot of science behind certain things.
Yeah.
If you do X, Y, and Z, these will be your results. X, Y, and Z. There's facts to it, and there's some truth to it. And now with the psychedelic realm, we've kind of always had an underground viewpoint, but now we're seeing a more mainstream, more hard backed by science and knowledge and information for truth, for help. And it's awesome. I love that direction they're going in. And also, there's so much you can do with that. You can have fun with it. Why not? Why not on a weekend? Hey, man, I want to go to Jupiter for a few hours. What's wrong with that? It's okay for, like you said, it's okay for people to go to bars and drink until they're stupid and pass out and throw up. but we have a bad look on psychedelics where someone wants to be creative or see something, we should look into all
Yeah, it's like
positive outlets
because
in the right environment,
oh, definitely. That's why
in the right circumstances.
that's why it's being studied too. So like we can actually find out the facts about it and see like it'll come with almost a way of guidance for people. Like with like weed right now and edibles, they got them. Your edibles. So you're like, oh, this one is like if you're coming back from work, you're tired. Like that's a good guidance. So I think that's what it's doing.
Well, what I learned from that is everyone in the right, if you find your right parameters, you find your right dose, you can use that for pain, or you can use that for pleasure, for fun, You just have to find what works for you. It's another, in the right words, in the right context, in the right environment, it has medicinal purposes. What I really, 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 really want to dive into is CBD. I'm going to share with you my idea. So with the edibles, if one were to make the equivalent of like a space muffin, one of the strong, strong, strong ones, but in CBD, a CBD edible is concentrated. CBD is supposed to help with anxiety and pain. So this is my rough hypothesis. If we can make a 100 milligram CBD muffin or sensu bean or whatever, would that be the equivalent of a 700,000 milligram Tylenol, ibuprofen? You won't get high, but if you're a construction worker and your shoulder's been jacked up for 2 weeks, and instead of taking over-the-counter opioids where you can get addicted, what if you take this fucking little CBD sensu bean or muffin, and then boom, your pain goes away for a few hours or a day.
Naturally.
All natural from a plant,
From Earth.
Or if you have a hernia, no, depending on the dosages.
Yeah.
You broke your arm. Instead of taking Vicodin, all right, maybe take, I'm just guessing here, 2,000 milligrams of an edible or oil of CBD, That's what interests me on that, because it's another, just like fitness, fuck the stigma, fuck what people think. No. You don't research like I research. We can have a conversation if you but for my research, in the right environment, in the right context, there's a lot of things that could be used as a positive outlet, not only for physical, but mental. And then, if you get both of those, spiritual growth and all types of good juju vibes and running on all cylinders. So, yeah. Interesting.
Damn, man.
Any other questions, senor? For me, for you, for anybody?
What should we expect next?
Give me 15 seconds. I'm gonna think. What should we expect next? You telling us?
What should they expect next?
Oh, what should they? I'm a fan of knowledge. I consider myself a nerd. I love learning. In a weird way, I also love teaching, showing what I learned to other people. It brings me joy if, what I do for fun or what I do that makes me, giggity and happy if someone else shares with me. Because now I have, instead of one alien that's all by himself enjoying something, now there's two. I want to be able to share that information. I think we're doing it in a unique way. I think we're pretty funny individuals. So we're sharing information. We're teaching people while we're laughing and growing and having a therapeutic, essentially, conversation. It's multifaceted.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're
man.
taking serious, touchy subjects, and we joke around. We have fun. We make people feel comfortable, so they can open up and share. So I think a lot of what can people expect? Knowledge and information. That's from my perspective. Knowledge and information, and an understanding of
Yeah.
of we might all feel the same. We might all feel like isolated aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can connect, a lot of dope shit can happen.
Oh, man.
Or help others connect to them. Find your own vibe.
Right.
You don't have to join us. You can find your vibe might be something different. But if we can help connect you to that shit,
To
hell
that
yeah,
direction.
yeah.
Take a left in the gas station. Yep. That's us.
Yeah, we're all going through this voyage, and if we can help others during their voyage, especially if they're having a hard time, and they're not vocal.
Yeah.
If you're not vocal, all right,
And then that's cool. That's another thing that brings me back to doing the podcast is the listeners. There's been people that I've met because of the podcast, or they know me through the podcast, and they've listened to the episodes, and they hit me up about like certain things we talked about. Sometimes they're cool memories. Sometimes it's like, hey man, I'm going through it too, man, like on some deep stuff. So like, not only that, I'm just saying it helps everybody, man. It helps us. It helps the people talking to us. It helps the listeners. Like we're all in this life, man, for the Dolor.
Is that how we finish it? Fuck it.
Fuck it.